Hi, my name is Angela Diaz, and I would like to talk about trauma, in particular sexual trauma. Sex trafficking usually happens when a young person is used by a third party to sexually for gains. It could be financial gains. And what happened with this is that a young person, and this is domestic, sex trafficking in the U.S. happens in every single state and the District of Columbia. Sometimes when people hear sex trafficking, they think about other countries or people being brought to the U.S. I'm talking about our own kids. Domestic sex trafficking happens all the time. And these young people are approached and groomed by traffickers. And then they could just be seeing the young person in the street and say, oh, you are so beautiful, and start talking with them and offer them to buy them a hamburger or something, and just start chatting with them. And eventually they may say, I want to be your boyfriend. And then when they try to develop that relationship, one day they will say, oh, if you really love me, you should have sex with my friend. And if the young person does it, then that continues to increase the different type of people that they are having sex with. And this person, this boyfriend, is being paid or is gaining has some gains from this interaction of the young person. You know, and sex trafficking can be through a trafficker. It could be through sometimes a gang, maybe involving sex trafficking. Sometimes it's an individual, sometimes it's a gang. Sometimes the families may be trafficking the young person and having gains such as money or drugs or something like that. There are a number of things that put young people at risk for sex traffic. The most immediate, the proximal risk to sex trafficking of young people in the U.S. is being homeless or having unstable home. Another risk is having a history of abuse, especially sexual abuse. Young people who are gay, lesbian, and transgender are at higher risk to be sex trafficked. Young people who are system involved, such as foster care or the criminal justice system, also are more likely to be sex trafficked. So these things are complex, but we need to understand that there are multiple risks. Some are individuals, some are family, some are community, some are more societal. But there are sometimes, because we ask them directly if they ever exchange sex, either for shelter, for money, for food, for drugs, we find out if they are engaging in any of those behaviors. Also, sometimes if you see a young person that comes to the clinic, sort of that is not dressed according to the temperature, for example, or they have certain tattoos in the neck that say that is girl, or something that sort of identify them as property of somebody else. You know, you sort of think that there is a possibility of that, and then you ask the young person directly. Something else to be very aware, sometimes the trafficker may come with the victim. And they want, when you are taking a history, you should always see any patient, any teenager should be always seeing at least for part of the history by themselves. But especially when you suspect that they are being sex trafficked. Because the traffickers tend to take over, they want to be giving all the history because they don't want the young person to say anything that may compromise them. So we always say to everyone, the way that we work here is that at some point we ask the parents or the friends, whoever comes with a young person, to wait outside, and we'll continue the conversation and do the physical exam. So we had that opportunity to work with the young person and ask any question that we may need to ask, and give the young person the opportunity to share anything that they need to share. But we know that they're not just going to pack up and leave. It's complex. They may be afraid of the trafficker. They may not know what to do, where to go. So we start that conversation, and we really encourage them to keep coming. And every time they come, we continue continue the conversation and continue to give them another dose of mental health. But they are not going to be able to live the life unless they have outside in the community connections, whether it's connection to family, they have a place to live, they have a place to, let's say, get money to eat, or, they need to survive, they need to do that. So you need to start working with them as they prepare to live the life to what system of care are they going to come to, what resources in the community are going to be available to them. And only after that, and sometimes it takes like 6 tries or more for them to try to leave, for them to then stay out and be able to get reconnected. They need to be reconnected to society and to the different elements of society. That is very important. So we provide these trauma-informed services to these young people who are being sex trafficked, but we also work with the different systems in their behalf. Sometimes they are brought by police, sometimes they are referred to us by court, as I said, the FBI, Homeland Security, and sometimes just other services. But we also are very involved in advocacy with many different groups in New York. People work together because these young people were not only being victimized in the trafficking, but they also were being arrested. They used to end up with a criminal record, and they used to be re-victimized by the different system. And after a lot of advocacy, New York actually changed the law. And now they see any young person as a victim rather than a criminal. A victim who needs services, who need to be connected, who need to really be helped. And this has been really, really important. This is key, because young people are much more likely now to even disclose, and they know that they can be helped. And we can work with the child welfare system, child protection, everyone, the different type of system to really help this young person do well, rather than consider them a criminal and making it harder for them to live the life.